Devin Haney versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. Let's talk about it. What's happening, boxing fans? It is Dr. Bring It. What's going on, people? Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday today, the day after Election Day here in the States. Very crazy time going on right now. We're all like waiting to hear what's going to happen. It's a very close race, but we'll see what happens. Whatever the outcome is, stay safe out there. And just be your best person is all I got to say. But anyway, so this weekend, we have an interesting fight coming up. Devin Haney, 21 years old. He's actually going to be turning 22 in a couple of weeks from now. So if he wins against Gamboa, that'll be a nice birthday present for him. Gamboa, I loved watching Gamboa fight throughout the years. Cuban fighter. Right now he's 38, so he's kind of like on the back end of his career. A lot of fighters are kind of using him as a stepping stone to and to add him to their resume because Gamboa is a legitimate fighter. He's got all the fundamentals. He's a really good fighter, explosive, super athletic. He has power. And this is going to be a really interesting fight. Why? Because it's another scenario where you have the youth against experience. So let's talk about what these fighters bring to the table. See, I don't like to get into the politics of boxing. I like to just talk about what the fighter brings into the ring in terms of mental aspect and skill set. I honestly couldn't care less who they have on their resume necessarily. I know a lot of people use that as a rule. I don't use that as a rule. It's nice to have a resume, of course. Of course, it's nice to have a resume with some really good people on it. However, it doesn't guarantee the win because you still have to bring your A game. And it all has to peak at the right moment. So let's talk about Devin Haney. We've heard a lot of stuff about Devin Haney and a lot of hype. Everyone seems to have picked their favorites already. You got Devin Haney, you got Garcia, Ryan Garcia. You have Tank Davis, okay, Teofimo Lopez. You know, what's beautiful about boxing right now, for once, it seems like all these young guys are coming up and they all have their different styles and their different personalities. And whatever corner of the world that you come from, you get to pick your favorite, which is a great thing. And I appreciate it. But let me just tell you, I'm very careful when it comes to believing in the hype. So when I hear like, oh, this guy's awesome, I tend to have some reserve on it. And I want to watch them actually fight. Yes, early round knockouts are always nice. Okay, like Tank Davis with Leo Santa Cruz. That was nice. 6th round, beautiful, electrifying, spectacular knockout. Great. But obviously, before we judge, we have to see the fighter when they're at their worst, when they are out at their weakest, when they are running on nothing but fumes. What quality comes out of the fighter when they have nothing left in reserve? Or do they ever get to that point? Do they leave some in the tank knowing they want to take their opponent to deep water? Those are the kind of things that I want to see in a fighter. Now, Devin Haney right now has faced a little bit of scrutiny from his last fight against Santiago. Okay, Santiago, much taller, 5'11". Devin Haney's only 5'8", 5'9", okay? But in the ring, there was considerable reach advantage and height advantage with Santiago. Santiago is an awkward, tall, and lanky, but athletic fighter. So it was really interesting to see Devin Haney go 12 rounds. Now, he got a couple of knockdowns, which is nice. But one thing that really stuck out about Devin Haney going those 12 rounds is the quality of his boxing towards the end rounds, in the championship rounds. When you look at his eyes and you look at his movements, he's still connected. He didn't go into this zombie mode where he just kind of goes in, covers up, and just bangs and just goes through the motion without any thought. He didn't do that. He was still present, still connected. And that, to me, is the sign that he really has something special. That he's always connected. And when you're always connected, even when you're very tired, that means that you're still dangerous. You're still thinking. You're still there trying to outsmart his opponent, and he's still applying his strategy and tactics. You guys understand what I'm saying here? There's a lot of zombie mode fighters out there. That was the mental aspect of it. Now let's just talk about Devin Haney's actual skill. Speed-wise, he's fast. Not the fastest hands that I've ever seen. However, his timing is very, very good. Not the fastest jab out there. Like, he's not the fastest Bruce Lee type of speed out there. However, he has very good timing. He doesn't throw his jabs in rhythm. He'll hit you like here and then go around, boom, and then he'll sneak. So he's got a sneaky jab, and it's also accurate. He has a snap. However, he does tend to kind of leave it out there a little bit, which is why his jab is so strong. So I think against elusive fighters with really good head movement, he's got to be very careful leaving it out there a split second too long, because it'll open up opportunities for getting countered. But he makes it up for it because he has good reaction time. So even if he's out there a little bit too long, he sees something coming, he's good enough and athletic enough, and his reaction time is fast enough that he can move and cover and then move his feet. Footwork-wise, he's pretty solid. I did see some footwork. Again, like maybe against Santiago is not a really good fight to gauge it on. But, you know, because that fight, there was a lot of hugging, and Santiago leaned on him a lot. That's why, you know, he got tired a bit. But his footwork is very good. He can move side to side. He can move backward. He's not afraid to move backwards. I would like to see him use more feints a little bit more. But again, that's not really a style. To feint so much, unless his corner tells him to, hey, use feint a little bit more. But that's not really in his game necessarily. It's in his toolbox, but that's not his go-to, okay? He has a really good hook. I want to talk about this hook real quick. His hook comes from his side. When he doesn't have the high guard, he puts his guard like this, right, on the bottom here. But the way he moves, he does a shoulder roll, he can go straight down, or when he sways over here to the left, he can actually hit you with a body shot, okay, coming from this position, or he could hit you with a hook. Now, his hooks are very tight. And because they're tight, they're really compact and very powerful and very fast. So he has a really good snap, but more importantly, it's kind of like a Canelo Alvarez left hook where you don't know if he's going to hook to the body or hook to the head. So it's a special hook. It's a really special left hook that if he connects, he could knock out people with it. But my favorite punch that he does really, really well is his James Toney roll and right down the pipe. I love this little move that he has going because he does it so naturally, and obviously he's taking people down with it. He can go like this and hit you with a straight right, or go like this and go with a right hook. And I think against Gamboa, this is going to be very effective for him. Gamboa is not even going to see it necessarily. He's going to go in like this, like as if he's just covering up, and then boom, he's going to just roll right into it and walk into a straight right. I think this is going to be the money shot that's going to fold up Gamboa. That's going to take away Gamboa's legs. And Gamboa, honestly, I think, sadly, I hate saying this because I really like Gamboa, but I don't think he can last the 12 rounds against this young, fresh, accurate, athletic Devin Haney. I don't think he can last that long. He doesn't have the stamina. Gamboa has never been that marathon runner. He's always been the guy who was dangerous in the very first, couple of rounds. But again, I think Devin Haney's strategy against Gamboa should be to take him to deep water, use his footwork, use his distance control, stay on the outside, jab him, go to the body. And here's the thing too. One thing that I noticed, now let me know if you guys agree here. I don't consider Devin Haney a natural body puncher. Let me explain. He has it in his tool bag, but I don't think he naturally just goes to the body. I mean, he jabs to the body. I know that. But for some reason, I haven't seen him enough to actually call him a die-hard body puncher. Who's some die-hard body punchers out there? Canelo Alvarez. Canelo he's a body puncher. Tank Davis, he throws hooks to the body. Teofimo, actually, I don't know if you guys agree, he goes to the body. That's how I think, in my humble opinion, that's how I think he was able to establish his power and his presence against Lomachenko. Lomachenko was moving out of the way, like trying to move and elude his body punches. He didn't want to take it in the arms. He's just trying to move away because he felt that power. Devin Haney, he's not a body puncher. He can do it, especially if his corner's telling him go to the body. Then he's gonna, do it. But I don't think he naturally just goes there. He might throw in some establishing shots just to lower the guard. But I think he really wants to go for some beautiful, spectacular knockouts, right? But anyway, so those are my thoughts about it. I think I spoke about enough for now about this fight. Of course, I'm going to post a post-fight analysis about this afterwards, just because I love talking about this stuff with you guys. But yeah, I'm gonna have to predict a knockout by Devin Haney, probably by the 8th or ninth round. Again, Gamboa being 38 at this point. Um, he lost to Tank not too long ago via knockout also. So those are my thoughts. I think this is a really good fight for Devin Haney. Gamboa is going to get a nice payday, you know. But I wouldn't sleep on Gamboa. I still definitely would prepare to go 12 rounds against him. But I think all of the mismatches go into Devin Haney's side. I think he has all the qualities to be able to beat him and get the knockout. So let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you like what you see. Like and share the video with other boxing enthusiasts. And that's it. Stay safe. Enjoy boxing. There's a lot of nice boxing coming up in the next couple of months. And enjoy. Talk to you soon.